Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this weekend's edition of Around the Game. Tonight, it's a little bit different. We're going to be talking about soccer in general, but basically the local soccer in Uganda. And today, I have the CEO of Wakiso Giants football team. That is Mr. Sula Kamoga. Sula, you're very welcome to the show.
Much appreciated.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. It's a nice place.
Okay, thank you so much. So, who is Mr. Sula Kamoga?
I'm Kamoga Sula, a football lover, CEO of Wakiso Giants, a director at Alpha Sports. Briefly, that is Sula Kamoga.
So, Sula, why football exactly?
Football. Primarily, I wasn't engaged so much into soccer. Then come to secondary, I joined Chibuli SS, the powerhouse, soccer powerhouse, where you could see players from KCC, Express, Vida, Cranes. So definitely, it was a powerhouse, and you had to join soccer, like it or not. So we would watch these soccer guys, these soccer stars, the Tenuas, the Vialis, the Mujibos, and definitely we had to enjoy the game. I had to join the game. I became a fan. I used to go and watch games at Express. I used to be an Express fan. They used to get us tickets at Chibuli. So along the six years, I became a soccer fanatic. Then after school, I joined soccer management. That's how I became into football.
Okay, you talked about watching them back in the day. What's the difference between watching those legends and watching this, like soccer these days?
Soccer back in the day was lots of fun. There was a lot of individual brilliance. I remember a time in Chibuli, we had Viali, we had Obua. It was fun and enjoyable to watch. Guys used to come to watch school training. Guys from Kampala, from wherever they could. Training at Chibuli was like a game. So it was, but these days you can't find such. I don't know. I don't know if it is a talent or something, but then soccer these days, compared to those days, no.
Is it something to do with the government? Do you think government has a hand in like lack of development in terms of skill? Because I know people talk about schools for kids these days. It's all about school. Sports is not considered very big.
No, not as such, but globally, soccer is becoming scientific. In the old days, it had to be along individual brilliance, but then these days, it's about teamwork. It's about formations. It's about instructions. Because a coach will instruct you, I want you to play like this. If you over dribble, he can take you out. Yeah. So it's about the more you dribble, you can kill a formation. So soccer is becoming scientific. So you have to go by the rules and instructions. That's why. That's the change. That's why having a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a man of your repertoire, you've risen through the ranks. You've been CEO of lots of teams, and you've been in soccer management for some time. Do we expect to see Mr. Sula Kamoga standing for super president in future?
Hey, a big one. You never know what the future holds, but currently I have no plans for that. I'm still handling Wakiso Giants to the heights I want to see it grow into wherever I want us to grow. But besides being a CEO, I'm into management. I manage soccer players. I have a company called Alpha Sports Soccer Academy where we handle various players. We are handling Anokani Bright. We are handling Katende William at Wakiso. We have lots of players we are managing. You see, there's been a gap in players. Players have been playing soccer without guidance. So at Alpha Sports, we do the guidance. Financial management, we do the career development, we do develop individual skills of the players. We do a lot of things to help these players play soccer professionally. Okay. You see, once there is that gap, someone cannot play soccer very well because we feel a player should concentrate on the pitch and leave the rest to the managers to do. So that's what we do at Alpha Sports.
So how do you convince players? Because I know in Uganda or in such a country, when you involve a player with things to do with management, we're going to manage you, we're going to take you to the state, they begin saying, this man wants to eat our money. You know, lots of people talk to people. So how do you convince a player to join your agent?
Now, players have to understand one thing. You cannot eat the cake alone. Once you want to eat the cake alone, you will never have it. Is it?
Yeah.
Because those who have wanted to eat the cake alone, eventually they cannot have it. Is it? You see, for example, at Alpha Sports, we capture videos for players, and once you go to the outside world, the scouts want those videos. They want that footage. But if you want to eat your cake alone and you don't have those videos, you cannot go professional. That's the difference. So we talk to these guys. You tell them, look, you've played for 3 years. You are the same stage. You don't have any clip. You don't have any footage. You are not developing. You are playing regional football. You are playing big league football. Even if you are playing football at Super League, you are not advancing. But look at a player like Bright. He has played for Poland. He's joined the senior team, the Uganda Cranes. Recently he's joined the KCC. Many soccer teams are vying for him. You see,
Yeah.
because of there's an additional something additional as a management we're doing for him. So players have to understand those dynamics and where we are going. You cannot eat the cake alone. It has to be shared by others, you like it or not.
Yeah, that is spot on.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're from Wakiso Giants. I like the shirt, the jersey.
Yeah, we got the Purple
And,
Sharks, the pride of Wakiso.
Pride of Wakiso. That's about Wakiso Giants because in Uganda, if you talk about Villa, KCCA, URA, so what is special about you, Wakiso? What do we expect from you guys?
Wakiso is a new phenomenon in Ugandan soccer. Yeah, right from the directors, the shareholders, the workers. There's something we want to instill into Ugandan local football. Uh, we're a special brand. That is the purple. You see, um, previously people were used to red, blue, yellow. Then we introduced the purple. We want to introduce something new, something special into local soccer. That's why we are doing lots of branding, marketing, uh, professionalism. We want to introduce something new, and that is Wakiso. We want to entice the local fans to have something different. That's why on our local games we call it a match day experience. There's a lot of vibe, there's a lot of hype, lots of organization, hospitality. So we are trying to create something new and different into the local fraternity,
Okay.
and hope our fans are loving it in general.
Okay, so you're now in the top flight, right?
Yeah.
I know it has been a long journey. Usually, qualifying to the top flight is a challenge, depending on finances, the help you get from outside. So, are you ready for the top flight?
We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Last season, we finished 10th. That wasn't our main target was to stay in the top flight, but we had hoped to have a better position. We didn't achieve that. We achieved 10th. We are in the second year running. We've gotten a new coach, a vibrant coach, Coach Bamuya and Douglas. We are into recruitment. We are hoping to change a few things. We want to have a different strategy. Last year, we recruited a number of guys who have been around. This year, we are changing strategy. We are recruiting a number of young guys that can be part of the squad for more than 4-5 years. You see, Owen Kasule is called Ibrahim Kasule. He's a young guy, vibrant, very good. There's this guy, Satra Edward from Gomba, a young guy, 20-year-old. That's the direction we're looking into. We want to have those young guys that we can stay with, we can identify with. Those are our players, workshop players. That's such that when they go, they feel they are part of the team. So that is the new trend we are looking at as a club. Having those young guys that can be with us for 3 to 4 years, and maybe look at selling them out of the country. Yeah, the players that have anger to play for the national team. You see, because a player who doesn't have the anger to play for the national team cannot give you results as a club. So you see, it's two-way. The player has goals and the club has goals. So we use the goals of the player to achieve club. A player has the anger to go and play professional, play out of the country. He will score for you goals. In the end, the club will be benefiting. So those are the kind of players we're looking at as a club.
Okay, so you talked about you bringing something new into the league. You want to be identified as Wakiso Giants in the league. Recently, you've gone through a lot of changes in terms of coaches. What is that all about? I thought you're supposed to have one coach you can look after, like Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, something like that.
You see, as a club, you have a short-term goals and long-term goals. But then you cannot achieve the long-term goals without achieving the short-term goals. We normally assess after a month or two. You assess, are we on track or we are going off track? So if you are going off track, you need to change a little bit the direction. Because if you played like 4 games or 5 games and maybe you're at the bottom, you see, are we really moving to the right direction? Are we doing the right things? Can we change here? Is it about the coach? Is it about the players? What can we do? Can we change here? Can we change there? You analyze the games you've played. What has gone wrong? Maybe a decision can come, but maybe let's change this coach. Maybe the players are not. Maybe the coach is not bad, but maybe the players are not adopting to what the coach is instilling to them. What can we change? As management, you go back to the drawing board, and you have to make a bold decision. That's why we had a change of coaches in between, but we haven't lost the direction. We know where we're going. By the changing a coach doesn't mean that the coach is bad. It could be the players, it could be the environment, it could be a lot of factors. So as a management, you have to know. You don't have to lose focus. You have to know where you're going. That's why you are the managers. Yeah.
So, Wakiso Giants seems to be a very big team on the rise. Are you being sponsored by the government or you have donors from Spain, maybe your partners with Barcelona?
No. Currently, our biggest sponsors are the shareholders. We have Purple Restaurant. Purple Restaurant, they are our partners. We have partnership with Chances, the school. We have partnership with Wakisha. But most of our monies come from our shareholders. Maybe they're giving us some money as the official broadcasters. But we're looking at a time whereby we can get off money from the shareholders, where the club can be sustainable, where the football itself can make money out for the club. Maybe in the future we can have a number of sponsors, because that's the direction we're looking at. You cannot sustain a club from pockets of individuals. You have to get the sponsors. You have to get money from the fans. You have to get money partners everywhere. But we're trying into that direction. We have a lot of properties to sell. We are looking at a point where we can have shared sponsors. Maybe we have official beverage companies. Maybe we have we have a lot of properties we can sell, and sponsors. We're calling upon all those watching. Maybe you can come and partner with us. We are a very vibrant club that you get mileage out of us. We have lots of fans in Wakiso. Wakiso is the biggest city in Uganda. Lots of people there. Most of people stay in Wakiso. Most of people working within Wakiso. We have around 2 million people that you can identify with once you partner with us. Yeah.
So I heard you talk about player recruitment and you're mainly basing on age limits. For players outside there who would love to join Wakiso, what is your recruitment policy? Like if a player wants to join, what do you look at?
As a club, we have what we call a human resource policy that defines how we recruit players, how we recruit employees, the age bracket, the style of play. Right now, because a club cannot have only young guys, you have to integrate the young guys, the medium aged, the old age is an integral. So it depends. You have to have the skill, you have to have the discipline, you have to have the professionalism, you have to have the zeal and anger to work with the professional club. Because you see, most of our players are failing to play, not because they're not skilled. Most of the players are not professional and they're not willing to learn how to be professional. So as players at Wakiso, there's a brand we're supposed to protect. So we have to look into that area. It's not about the skill, it's about even the person. Yes.
Okay, so you say certain sponsors the league in general.
Yeah.
To your opinion, I know soccer, the league in Uganda is a very big product, and usually what sponsors do is before they sponsor, they look at the product. Are we going to benefit? How big is it? Do you think sometimes they're doing a good job sponsoring the league?
Yeah, they are doing a great job. You see, someone giving you money, you cannot adopt him. But what I think the fans there, they need to analyze and see and realize that they are part of the game. You see, sponsors will be attracted when the stadium is full. uh, it will be a disservice going injecting your money into a club and there are no fans. So our dear fans need to realize that the more they come to watch our games, the more they will attract the sponsors. Sponsors like numbers. They cannot come where there are no numbers. So you see, it's now up to the fans themselves. They have to realize that we are part of the game. We are part of the key selling factor. So if they go to the games, if they buy merchandise, if they buy sponsor whatever the sponsors are selling, that's when they inject more money. For example, if sometimes looks into their sales that after sponsoring the league, the Uganda Premier League, their sales went up, it will be an additional, it will be a motivation for them to add more money into the league. But if there is no impact from the fans who buy the products, then there is no reason as to why they will be continuing to inject money into the Uganda Premier League. So now it's up to the fans to realize that they are part of the package that we are selling. Yes, sir.
So I want us to talk about the legends of the game. There's no doubt Uganda has produced legends thus far. I mean, players who have gone outside, showcased the kind of talent we have in Uganda. I'll talk about David Ubua. I'll talk about Sekaja. I'll talk about Brian Umon. I'll talk about Onyango, just to mention a few. I'll also try to compare them to DJ Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, I mean Okocha, just to mention a few. So are the legends giving back to the game in terms of academies, development of facilities like hospitals, schools?
You see, it goes back to the upbringing of our players. Most of these players are not structurally managed, are not developed into the kind of players we are seeing abroad. Most of them do it for themselves. We don't prepare them well enough. Eh? So all they think about is playing soccer. They don't think about life after soccer. All they think about is the 90 minutes. Eh? You see, most of those players who are doing great things after playing, they were prepared. It wasn't by accident. But what lacks in Uganda, actually, it goes back to our administrators. They don't prepare these players to be essential after playing. So now you cannot blame our players for not doing what other players globally are doing, because we didn't plan them. We didn't manage them well. They don't even know what they're supposed to do. For them, what they think after playing, maybe I'll go into coaching. But football is wide. Football is wide. You can go into being an agent. You can go into coaching. You can go into being a CEO. You can go into lots of things in soccer. But our players, we don't educate them to go into that direction. That's why they are all cornered into coaching, maybe going to the federation. But there are a lot of opportunities that they can engage into.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about why do soccer players have a lot of opportunity to travel abroad compared to other?
You see, football has been around Uganda for so long a time. It has been our number one sport for so long a time. That's why you will find football in Arua, deep down in the village. You'll find football deep down in Busia, deep down in Kabale, unlike other sports. You will find football in almost all the schools, unlike other sports. That means it has a bigger catchment where we can get talent. Rugby, basketball, you cannot find it anywhere. Maybe because it needs additional wear for it to be played, but soccer, anywhere it can be played. Maybe that's why we have a lot of people engaged into football. Is being played from the grassroots to national level. You will find fifth division, fourth division, third division, second division, first division. But other sports, you will only find it at the top level. So you cannot compete at the same level with soccer. Yeah.
So You guys, you said like you're pressing on young talent. You want to develop young talent and stay with kids for this period of time. It brings me thinking. But you have a soccer academy or something?
Uh, it's not a soccer academy per se. It's a junior team. We partnered with the Chadondeses. The idea was we want to monitor our kids to be in school. We believe we should achieve from these players much as they achieve from us. We don't want to reach a scenario having a player who cannot write his name, and that is very common with Ugandan players. Eh? That's why we say our junior team should be at Chadon SS, whereby the coach would monitor these players that they are studying. Eh? Not having a player who is only playing soccer without attending school. So we want a player from our junior team, we recruit him into the senior team. But if he cannot propel well into the senior team, we can maybe get him into management because he knows our style, he knows what we are doing. Yeah. So we want a player to develop a player and achieve and get him his football and help him achieve his educational goals. That's why we partner with the Chadon DSS. So most of our kids are at Chadon DSS. We think in the next 3 to 4 years we can be able to get more like 5 guys from the junior team to the senior team. Yeah.
So I like that strategy. So what are some of the challenges apart from the money, of course? What are some of those challenges you guys are experiencing so far?
Uh, I think we lack government support, strategic government support. For example, if there was a policy in the government that for someone to sponsor a football club, there would be some incentives for that company. Maybe we could be having lots of sponsors. But then, if there is no policy as that, then maybe sponsors might think they're just helping us. So maybe we think there should be government involvement. For example, facilities. We lack facilities in Uganda. We look at Nambole, you look at KCC, you look at Chitende. But if, for example, every district had a standard stadium, then maybe teams wouldn't be struggling to to, to, to put up uh, infrastructure. Maybe clubs will be sharing government stadium. Maybe the government can look into that, having every a stadium at every district level, a standard stadium, maybe a stadium like Nambole or a stadium like KCC grounds. Maybe that could promote the sports in general.
Okay, so do you think we're going to see soccer anytime soon? I mean, first tell us about the league, like what's happening in the league, because I personally follow a lot of basketball. I know before the start of the basketball season this year, it was supposed to begin on a Friday, then the government came in and locked down on a Saturday, on a Thursday, something like that. So the league never went on, and just recently they cancelled the league. So tell me about the soccer league. How was it? Did it really end? And who are the champions?
Yeah, it ended with Vipers being the champion. You know, in soccer, they have the competition rules, which says if you have played 75% of the games, then the current leader or the one on top of the log is declared champ. So that's how Vipers became to be the champion of the league.
Okay.
Yeah. The league, we're just praying that it comes back because now the clubs are struggling. There is no league, there is no football, and we have expenses going on. But all in all, it will depend on the government. If the government says football can go on, maybe you can go on. But then it's a sort of challenges because maintaining those people, the standard operating procedures, checking the footballers, the players, it's a bit expensive. But all in all, we just pray Corona goes away because handling all those funds, we cannot be like European guys who have all those that luxury. Yeah, we are constrained, but we just pray that this goes away and maybe you can resume. Yeah.
So, something I had to ask you at the start of the show. What are your long-term goals and your short-term goals as Wakiso Giants, first of all, and as Mr. Sula Kamo?
Wakiso, as a club, our vision is to become the number one club in Uganda, on and off the pitch. and by that we mean the sporting element. You want to get trophies. You want to be financially stable. Eh? We want to have a social impact on the area where we operate. We want to have our own stadium. We want to have sponsors. We want to have our shirt with all the sponsors on board. Um, that's where we're looking. We want to have to be a brand like you see Al Hilal of Egypt. You see, you see, the budget of Al Hilal can be, or Real Madrid can be bigger than that of the government of Uganda.
Like the whole government.
The whole government of Uganda. So we want to reach a level whereby we are self-sustaining, whereby we can sell players all over the globe. We want to say when you mention Waxo Giants and you are in your United States, people can say that is a club in Uganda. For example, when I say Arsenal, people will say that is a club in England. So we want to reach that level whereby we can sell merchandise as far as Spain. Why are we buying Real Madrid jerseys in Uganda? Why aren't we selling jerseys to people of Spain? So we want to reach that level, whereby someone can buy a ticket from UK and come and watch Waxo Giants versus Express. That's what the level where I want to be. Yeah.
So I want to first ask you, do you believe Corona is real in Uganda?
Hope your studios are safe.
So you believe it's there? You believe it's there?
It's hard to tell, but we shall go by what the government says.
Okay, so I want you to look into the camera and tell all the Wakiso fans and soccer lovers about how to keep safe.
Yeah, soccer lovers, we love you. Want you safe. Want you back in the stadium. So keep safe. Wash your hands. Rewash your hands. Keep distance. Sanitize. Or do whatever government is telling you because we want you safe. We want you back in. We want you to buy our merchandise. We want you to watch our games. Everything. We want you safe. Yeah.
So lastly, I want you to look into the camera once again. And you never know sponsors are watching. I want you to convince those sponsors and convince those soccer players who would love to sponsor. I mean, who would love to sponsor Wakiso and who would love to sponsor to play for Wakiso. I want you to convince them.
Maybe before we get to that, there's something I want to point out. During this period, there's something special to Wakiso. In every season, we change our jerseys. So this upcoming season, our new design is out, and our jerseys will be out on the market very soon. And there's also something else. We are registering our fans. There is massive registration that will soon be detailing how the procedure, how everyone will be registering. Back to the sponsors. I think you need to identify with us. For the short period we've been around the game, we've tried to prove that we are a brand to reckon with. We are a brand that you can rely on. We are a brand that you can identify with. And we have the numbers at the stadium. When match day, we have all the numbers. People come from wherever to watch our games. We have our merchandise. People are putting on our jerseys. So it's a chance and an opportunity you can tap with.
Yeah, then for the players?
Players, you have to work hard. Soccer these days, it's not about the individual skill. It's no longer about the individual skill. You have to work hard. The commitment. People work 10,000 hours to achieve where you are. Ronaldo, Messi, they don't rest. They've earned whatever they want into the game, but they're still working hard. So for you in Uganda and Katanga, you have no chance. You have to work harder. You have to work harder than Messi. You have to work harder than Ronaldo to achieve, to be next where he is. You cannot play football when you're not committed, when you don't work hard. When you only go for training, you have to do your own training. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stula. Mr. Stula Kamuga, it has been a pleasure having you here.
Yeah.
I hope we shall keep on meeting so that you can update us about Wakiso Giants and the league in general.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good innovation. I've liked the setup. I've liked everything. You see, this is the way to go. This is digital. We have to go digital. It's a good initiative, and I call upon whoever wants to go live. These guys are the greatest in Uganda. I haven't seen something special in Uganda, but this is great. The politicians, You can come. This I have seen lots of potential. You can come here and you work with these guys. They can give you good platform. They have the best gadgets around the town. Yeah, call upon even the soccer for the soccer people. You can engage these guys. They are great. It's great stuff.
Okay, that has been Mr. Sula Kamoga, the CEO of Wakiso Giants. It has been an honor having him here. We shall go into a very short break and we shall be back with our soccer analysis. See you in a little while. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of Around the Game, soccer in particular. And in the studio once again tonight, I have a Manchester United fan. It's called Derek. Derek, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Derek Giroux, but you can also call me JJ. As he has said, Manchester United diehard and Chiraka United diehard as well. So I'm glad to be here once again, and I hope we have a good time in the studio.
Okay, so very briefly, talk about the league in general. Of course, I'm going to talk about international league. And when I talk about the international league, I'm talking about Premier League. Today is the last day. What do you expect? Relegation, fight for the Champions League, fight for the Europa. Talk about the last day. And of course, let's not forget about Leeds United back into the Premier League.
Beginning with the Premier League, the current battle right now is between the third position, the fourth position, which is being contested for by three teams. That is Chelsea, Leicester City, and Manchester United.
Personally, I don't think you should put Chelsea in that competition because I think it's between Manchester and Leicester.
No.
You guys are fighting for one position.
Not really.
Okay, who has the advantage?
I would like to believe Chelsea has the advantage.
Okay.
For the simple reason that they are home.
Exactly.
You see, whereas Manchester United is away. You know, and I don't want to think that Chelsea is not in this race because they're playing a difficult opponent. Wolves has been a difficult opponent since they came to the Premier League. So there's no way Chelsea is guaranteed to survive. Should you lose, you may not qualify.
Yeah, let's focus on the big match of today. That is Leicester versus Manchester. What are Manchester United's chances and what are Leicester's chances?
Football is what you get. It's not what you deserve. So I think at the end of the day, whoever plays in a way that feels like they deserve those 3 points will go through. Leicester has the advantage that they are home, but unfortunately their form has not been perfect. Whereas Manchester United, whereas they are away, their form has been good. You know, so I'll put it at a draw, and that's all Manchester United needs. As even if we don't get the 3 points and we get 1 point, it'll be enough to take us to the Champions League.
Okay, make some noise about Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are the champions. They lifted the trophy. Was it this week during the week when they played against Chelsea? They are the champions finally. And let's not forget about the argument between Jurgen Klopp and Frank Lampard. Klopp goes out of the way and says he has no beef with Frank Lampard. Remember, there was a lot of vulgarity uttered by Frank Lampard during the touchline, during some moments before was it the first goal where Alex scored that free kick? Yeah, so there was some argument, and after the match, these two players were interviewed, and Frank Lampard apologized, and Klopp also said he has no problem. That was just temper, like those were just tempers during the game, and they are good. Let's talk about Liverpool.
I think Liverpool's dominance and being champions has been overdue. They deservedly been the champions this season because they have been advancing and progressing in terms of playing football. So congratulations to them. They've deserved it, and I think they're going to be a force to reckon with next season. So it has really been their season. No doubt about that.
Yeah, before we begin congratulating them, let us try to analyze why they took the trophy. Because there's no doubt they're not really big money spenders. They don't have one of the best coaches in the world. The players that can really catch a person's eye in Liverpool, maybe 3, maybe 4. That is what Mane, Salah, the keeper. That's Alisson. Then of course Van Dijk. So they have about 4 world-class players. Where did Liverpool get it right compared to Man City, Manchester, Chelsea?
I think it all begins with their vision. You know, As much as they didn't make it in the past 2 or 3 seasons, they still had the vision to be champions. That is one thing. Because vision in terms of the way they play and in terms of management, that is one thing. And if you go into footballing matters, I think they've had a great front three. Has been a very good advantage for them. Then as well as their back line has been excellent. As much as there have been a few slip ups here and there, but generally the whole season their back has been excellent. Then number two, Arnold. Then number three has been fantastic. And finally, I think Klopp got it right with Van Dijk and Gomez. They established a partnership which has been good for them this season. And of course, they are number one. Their goalkeeper has also been excellent. Then their midfield, Jordan Henderson has been a standout player. That's why recently he was made the Football Writers Association player. So there's no doubt he made the difference in that midfield. He has been consistent and he has delivered the goods. So Liverpool has been good in every position, perhaps with the exception of the substitutes. They haven't had so many substitutes coming in here and there. Shaqiri has not been playing well, with the exception of maybe Origi, who has been trying, has been getting enough game time. Alan has been off and on, but first 11 has been excellent.
Okay, so let's talk about Manchester Chelsea, the semi-finals in the FA Cup. I know Arsenal qualified. Arsenal has been struggling like the whole season. Let me talk about the three teams. The three teams: Chelsea, Manchester, and Arsenal have really been struggling this season. Arsenal went out of their way, beat Man City. Chelsea, after being molested by Manchester the whole entire season, shocked them with a victory. Let's talk about briefly about the semi-finals first.
I think Solskjaer got his lineup wrong as number one. He changed the entire setup. I personally think he should have stuck with Romero, our goalkeeper for the FA tournament. Then I also think he gambled with our midfield and the striking lineup. So immediately with the lineup, the coach got it wrong. But then two, the coach, I will not blame the coach entirely, because the coach picks up a team believing that everybody is capable of performing. We made some errors, individual errors, beginning with the goalkeeper. The guy was not in class on that day. Our central defense was not solid enough. Our midfield, Fred has been good this season. Unfortunately, not been playing, so he wasn't as good as the Fred of the entire season.
So basically,
Chelsea deserved to beat Manchester United.
Let's talk about the goalkeeping troubles of Spain in general, because both of their keepers, the first choice and second choice, one catches for Manchester, the other catches for Chelsea. Is it safe for us to say in Uganda we call such people buffet? Kepa was about 75 million pounds, most expensive player keeper in the world ever. And you see the results he's getting. He has been voted as one of the worst keepers in the top 5 leagues. Like, he may be number one, okay, among the top 5 worst keeper, and it was 75 million pounds. And you're here telling me Degi got it right, and I know this is not the first time I've had mistakes from Degi. So let's talk about those buffet.
I think it would be very unfair to call them buffet. The price tag is not their fault. I think it was just good business on the side.
Yeah, it was good business, but let's talk about their goalkeeping. Because I've never heard about Alisson making mistakes like that. Thibaut Courtois, of course, second season in Spain, has been going through a lot. I can cut him some slack. But let's talk about this world-class player.
Yes, I think
there's no excuse. A goalkeeper has to be really
one
good.
thing we should accept is that these are human beings.
These are professionals.
Yes, the professionals. I'm coming there.
Do not tell me.
I'm not.
First hold it a little bit. You cannot tell me there's a penalty by Jorginho, by Rashford, and before he kicks it, he falls 2 times, 3 times in a season. Then what do you say? There is a human being.
Hear my reasons. One, they are human beings. it simply means that they're prone to mistakes.
For Kepa, how old is
Yes,
Kepa?
hold
No,
on.
no, how old is Kepa?
Kepa, I think it's about
25.
around. No, I think even he's younger. He's younger than 25.
How old is Degi?
The guy is now 29.
For a keeper of 29
Yes.
years, and how long has he been catching?
Let me hear my reasons. One is he's a human being, so they're prone to mistakes.
These are professionals.
I know they're
very
professionals.
expensive professionals.
The price tag shouldn't make us think that they're not prone to mistakes.
They are catching for the best teams in the world.
Here are my reasons. When you say that because of their price tag, that they shouldn't make mistakes, I think that's very unfair on them also.
Yeah, making a mistake is fine.
Exactly.
Yes,
They're human.
Because not constant mistakes.
Yes. Here are my reasons. Because it happens. That's football. Messi, look at Messi's price tag.
How many mistakes has Messi made?
How many penalties? How many penalties has Messi missed?
How many?
Very many.
How many?
Yes,
In
Messi
one
many
season.
penalties. No. Yes, in one season, I think Messi has gone as far as missing like 3 penalties.
Missing a penalty is okay when you
Yes.
catch your penalty. I mean, a mistake in terms of you're going to kick John Terry. Remember that Manchester United Chelsea Champions League night 2000 something. You slip and fall 3 times in a season. Are you still going to be the penalty?
I want to make my argument in terms of the fact that I played football. I'm not playing actively.
Locally.
I played locally, but it's still the same principle.
Okay.
So I don't want to blame. Yes, they made mistakes. I'm not saying they didn't make mistakes. Kepa is a very young man.
But he wants to be chased away from Chelsea. Not even so.
I may not. I don't think he has gone to the goal. He has gone to the goal keeping position because he's playing the way he's playing because he wants to be chased. You see, there's no sane footballer who goes to perform badly. But there's certain 1 or 2 things that a keeper with his price tag and as good as he's assumed to be.
My question was, why are they struggling? Spain keepers, why are they struggling?
The gear, I think the gear is not
good.
He's good, but I think he has got some kind of mental issue right now.
So he's tired of Manchester.
He's not tired of Manchester United, but I think he's taking long to sort out his mental ability.
In terms of what? Is he mad?
He's not mad, but the club he's in is a big club.
Pressure.
So the pressures that come with being in Manchester United and Kepa, the pressures that are coming in with being in Chelsea. Remember, Chelsea is trying to get back to the Mourinho days and being the best, winning the league. And then now we're bought you at £75 million and you're making these mistakes. And also too, now he has got a coach who's not going to understand such kind of things. Lampard is game hungry. He no longer has let's say Ancelotti or Ferguson or Wenger. Who's going to be patient? Who's going to treat him like a parent? The way Ferguson was patient with De Gea.
Okay.
I don't think Kepa has made the same mistakes that De Gea made when he had just joined Manchester United. It was terrible.
Okay.
A normal ordinary coach would have benched De Gea long ago.
Okay, let's go to the battle for relegation. I mean, we have Aston Villa, we have Watford, we have Bournemouth, and we have Norwich. I think Norwich has already gone back home because the point difference between Bournemouth and Norwich is about 10 points. So we basically have Bournemouth, Watford, and Aston Villa battling today for their lives. I mean, today is the last day. So let's talk about the relegation battle. Who do you think is going and who do you think is surviving?
Interestingly, I believe
Bournemouth is playing Everton. That is crazy. Of course, Norwich, Man City. That is obvious. We have Liverpool, Newcastle. We have Southampton, Sheffield. We have Aston Villa taking on West Ham.
I think Watford has Arsenal. That's a hard game.
That is tomorrow.
Today.
Okay, it's today.
That's a hard game, given the fact that Arsenal also is still trying to fight for Europa League places, and they have a final coming up. So that's a hard game. Though, given Arsenal's instability, Watford may fancy themselves against Arsenal. So I like to believe Watford may pick out a point from Arsenal. Then Aston Villa is playing
West Ham. Aston Villa is playing West Ham. I think it's going to be syndicates. West Ham is playing for no reason. Yeah. Aston Villa is fighting for survival, and you know that they just came into Premier League this year.
I don't want to think that Moyes would just give Aston Villa a chance to beat them because they've also been doing terribly.
I mean, West Ham is really playing for nothing.
They're playing for nothing, but
But psychologically, as a player, it's just normal.
Yeah, but
When you're playing for nothing, do not expect to give up.
every coach would want to end on a high, especially a coach like Moyes, who has been up and down with a team like West Ham that has not been consistent. Yet they're supposed to be consistent.
So, according to you,
I think Norwich is down. This one's already relegated. I like to believe Watford may survive. Aston Villa, unfortunately, may go back.
okay. So let's not forget about Leeds United. They finally made it back after 16, 17 years in the top flight. They're now finally back. Do we expect them to come and go? Like that has been the norm. Teams from down, you come up and you go down.
I don't think they're going to go down. The simple reason, their coach is a genius. Marcelo Basel is a genius. He's a good coach. He's matured.
Hold on. We have had genius coaches from down there. So I don't think it's about the coach anymore in the Premier League.
For there's some coaches who really impact.
I mean, Mourinho was in the Premier League. Who else? There have been lots of good coaches into the Premier League.
We're talking of
Leeds United.
Yes, Leeds United.
Personally, I think it's the management behind their success.
The management.
Marcelo may be good, but the quality of players Marcelo is managing, they're wanting.
Yes.
So I think it's the structure. Before we begin praising the coach, this and this, who is a professional Argentinian, what? I think you have to first give credit to the coach. I mean, to the management, then you go to the coaches, then maybe the players.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm giving credit to the coach is for the simple fact that you may have a good management and a bad coach, and results won't come.
I understand. But
Yeah, so
think about it in this way. How long has Bielsa been in?
2 seasons. Yeah, I think 2 seasons.
Yes, and do you remember the route Leeds has taken ever since they left Premier League?
Yeah, and
They have come from a lot.
And you know why they have finally put the icing on the cake?
Leave alone the icing. It's where it starts from.
It's where it starts from.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, Leeds for a very long time have just been surviving. They've been fighting relegation battles
In where?
in Championship.
Which
Yes,
championship?
something.
Yeah.
So
In the last 17 years, how many years have they been in the championship?
I mean, you yourself have said they've been there for the past.
Not the championship. They even went below the championship.
Exactly.
Do you know that?
Exactly.
So it has been a process.
Yeah, but now they've got a coach who knows how to win, who knows how to handle inexperienced players, who knows how to deal with competitions. There's been big competitions, so I believe he's going to have a lot of say in the top flight. So congratulations to them, by the way, because Manchester United also profited from players from Leeds. We had the likes of
Ferdinand,
and
Alan Smith, and the rest.
So Liverpool had the Harry QL. So it's a good thing that that Leeds has come, and I hope the plan better survive, because if Aston Villa goes back, it will be